Good morning, y'all. How are you doing? I am so glad that you are here. I'm so glad to be here, no matter what time of day it is when you're watching this. Like we always say, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is, it's good. So we are here, we are living, we woke up this morning, we are breathing, and we are sitting in our gratefulness for that. We've talked a lot about gratefulness. We've talked about it for the past, 2 or 3 sessions that we've been in. It's been coming up. And I hope that you guys are really taking the time to embrace that, to live in it, to breathe it, as I said before, I know it's tough. I know it can be tough, especially when things are a little funny and things aren't going the way that you want them to go. But I'm hoping that we are trying to dig deep and really find the things that are going well, the things that are working in our favor, the things that we can point out and saying, okay, you know what? This was good today. This was good. And I'm so grateful about that, because all that does is just lead you to different things that you wouldn't have necessarily picked out before. But once you start that train of gratitude, then it's easier for you to pick out other things. So we start with the most the most prevalent thing, and then as we're going through, you're going to see that it's going to be easier. So I'm hoping that we're seeing that. I'm hoping that we're just basking in that. And not only that, if you have you been seeing anything? Have you been paying attention to what that brings? Like attracts like, right? So if I'm being grateful for, hey, good morning, Sean. Thank you for joining me. If I am being grateful for X, and I'm just like, oh, I'm basking in it, and I'm just so thankful for it, and I'm glad that it's there, then what happens? That I am attracting more of X. So if you take the time to pay attention, and now it may not be big things that are happening and that have happened in your life since you started on this gratitude journey, or since you dug a little bit deeper than you normally do on this gratitude journey, it may not be big things, but those small things, we've got to look out for those things. Whether it's, oh my goodness, I'm walking down the street and I got a $20 bill just facing me. Oh my gosh. These are things to be grateful for. Hey, Nikki, those are things to be grateful for, and for us to really understand, like, yo, God's got my back. When these things are happening, I want you to reaffirm that fact. It's like, okay, I'm fully supported. I don't care if you see a penny on the street. I don't care what it is. Like, it can be small, but just understanding. And if you're having difficulty with surrounding money, again, y'all know that's been my pain point. And so that was something for me to work through, and I'm still working through it. But if you're having problems with or surrounding money or lack of it, and limiting beliefs around it, if that is the case, then I encourage you, I don't care what it is, what flows in. You receive $5 in the mail. You receive $4, $3, $30, $20, $100. I don't care. I don't care what amount it is, whatever it is that you come in contact with, whoever sends you something, whatever bills you get in. We talked about that a little bit. I want you to give thanks for it and reaffirm that not only are you guided and you are supported, but hey, money is all around me. Money is all around me. Money comes to me easily. So whatever it is that you're struggling with, whatever it is that you're thinking that you don't have enough of, if it's knowledge, if it's whatever it may be, I want you to affirm just the opposite. I want you to affirm the opposite. And I want you to start speaking those things and noticing when more of that shows up. And just like, oh my gosh, see, I know it. I am supported. I am guided. I am never alone. These are the things that I want us to to live in. I want us to breathe it. I want us to really walk in it, because the more that you understand that you are divinely guided, you are divinely supported, you are not on this journey alone. The things that you're being required to do and you're being asked to do, these aren't things that you're not capable of. But sometimes when we're just coming into it, or we're trying to really get a hold of it and trying to up our belief in that, we're not quite to the level of where we are fully accepting of it. So we need a little convincing. And that is something that is within your wheelhouse, that is within your power to be able to do that. You can convince yourself, just like you convince yourself of other things that aren't necessarily serving you, even if it came from somebody else. It doesn't matter if it came from somebody else. What really mattered is what you told yourself and what you accepted. That's what it is. So this is, and you guys, it's a journey and it's a process. You already know. But as we're going through this, we are unlearning the things that aren't serving us, and we are remembering the things that do serve us. And I say remembering instead of learning, because when we first came here, we already had these things down pat. We already knew who we were. We weren't opposite of what we were created to be. We didn't think any different. We didn't have those self-limiting beliefs. We didn't have those feelings of lack. We didn't have that. We lived in abundance. We knew we were abundant. We knew we're the bomb. We knew we were capable of anything, because that's what you see in little kids. That's what you see. They are fearful. They are ready to go out. They don't care who's watching. They're ready to do things. And you got to catch them before a certain age, right? Before it starts registering like, whoa, somebody's watching. But you see how they develop. And that's how we once were. So that unlearning process is a process. And remembering is a process. And we have to do that in conjunction. We have to do that at the same exact time. And this is a part of you doing it, living and breathing in gratitude. So I am seeing that my chat keeps getting disconnected. I'm not sure why, but if I'm going in and out, can somebody tell me? I'm not sure what I'm going to do about it, because it's saying I'm connected to the internet, but I'm seeing this thing saying disconnected, connected. Disconnected, connected, and it's really bothering me. But let me know if ever you can't hear me, and I'll try to make things work. But anyway, so I hope, and it did it again. I don't know. This is getting on my nerves. But whatever. We're here, and we're having a good day. We're having a good day. Everything is good. But so I'm hoping that you guys are really living in that gratitude. I'm fine and clear. Okay, good. So this is just a distractor. That's all right, because what do we do with distractors? We just keep it moving. We keep it moving. This is in life. When things are coming and you see how it's trying to distract me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, something's wrong. My focus is now off of you guys and now on my computer, trying to figure out what this is going on, what is going on. And this is life. You will constantly get distractors. But we're going to remain focused, because that was the whole theme of this year, right? 2023, we are focused. We are focused. We are focused. So I hope that you guys have been focused on gratitude and seeing the wealth that it brings and the joy that it cultivates when you really live in that. So I hope y'all been doing that. If y'all haven't been doing that, then y'all need to get on it, okay? Get on the gratitude train today. The enemy is trying to get you off track. Not today. Not today. We don't do that. We don't play those games. Not today, honey. So I'm going to tell y'all 2 books that I'm going to recommend, okay? And the first one is this one. I have it in written form, so I don't know. Okay, can you see it? The Millionaire Moses. Oh, oh, sorry, y'all. Oh, Lord. Y'all see my daughter painted my nails, and look, I'm trying to hide it. Okay, so Catherine Ponder. I don't know. The light is bouncing off of this, but awesome book. Awesome book. So if you're struggling in the area of finances, of money, the mindset surrounding money, this is a good book for you. And another one that I just recently started, that one has been touching my soul, I'm telling you. Okay, so let me just pull it up because I want to get her name. So it's called Miracles Are Normal, and the entire title is Miracles Are Normal, Co-Creating Through Oneness with God. And her name is Virginia Killingsworth. I'm only on the third chapter, and it's already, she's been reading me for filth. I'm just like, oh my gosh, get out of my life. Why are you in my life? How do you know? But it's been really good. So one of the things that stood out to me that I wanted to mention to y'all is this is it. She was saying, shift our mindsets from trying to be better and do more to growing into the fullness of who we already are. So we're gonna break that down. I felt called out when I read that, and I had to read it a couple times because I felt so called out, because I have been one of those people who are trying to be better, who are trying to do more, who are trying to push the envelope to make me feel better and make me happier and allow me to be in a state of joy. Because it was like, okay, well, I'm not really happy with my situation right now, but if I had this, then I would be able to relax more. I would be able to take more vacations. I would be able to do this. I would be able to do that. You know how we do. And so I would designate that part of me as the pusher, the doer, the enforcer, she would just come in and she would just get things done, but not necessarily in the most healthiest way. And so in our society, a lot of that is pushed. You see that the hustle culture, grinding, you staying up at all hours of the night, you putting in work, it's kind of a feeling that it's all on you. If you do not perform, if you do not show up, then guess what? Your family is in danger. Guess what? You're not going to be able to pay your mortgage payments. Guess what? You can't complain when things don't go your way. Guess what? If you don't have money, it's because of you. That's kind of what at least I got from our culture and from our society and from the books that I would read and from the messages that I would hear. It's like your fate, your future all depends on you and how much you do externally. And so I got lost in that, and I would work my behind off trying to prove that, hey guys, I'm smart, I'm holding it down. No, we don't, lack money because of me, because I am working, okay? I am working hard and I'm bringing in this money. And that was just a cycle that just caused extreme burnout. But so when she said that, trying to be better and do more, that is where a lot of our focuses have been, because look at this. Stuff is just popping up. Ooh. Uh-oh. Yep. Okay, can you tell me if am I there? I don't even know if you're going to be able to tell me, because it's saying I can't even connect to the chat. Oh my goodness, what is happening? You know what? It just is what it is. Like, I don't know if if I'm even on anymore, and I'm probably not. I probably got kicked off, and it's not allowing me to shut down. My computer just totally just is wigging out. So it is what it is. I don't even care. I don't care. At this point, I have my phone recording for me. So it's all right. If this doesn't go through, I am going to posted from my phone. So we're all good anyway. And now that has knocked me off. But it's all right. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. But anyway, so we're talking about shifting our mindset from trying to be better and do more to growing into the fullness of who we truly are. And so that has been a real journey for me in trying to do that and separate and unlearn the culture in which I've been brought up in the society that thinks and pushes everything is all on you. And one of the things I remember it being where I came out of my job in 2016. Yeah, 2006. No, actually, I'm sorry. It was 2017 that I came out of my job, my first job. So I came out of my job and I remember fearing being like the Israelites. Like, we have all read that story. We all know about the Israelites traveling with Moses through the wilderness and how their wilderness journey was only supposed to last 11 days, but in turn, it turned out to be 40 years. It was 40 whole years that they extended it. So how do we get from 11 days to 40 whole years? 40 years? That's a long time. So one of the things that I would do when I would read it is just my computer completely turned off now. Whatever. But the thing that I would do when I would read it is just like, it would instill fear in me because I knew that being called out of my job, I was on this journey because what I felt is that things were unstable at that time. You know, I got caught out of my job. I didn't have a plan B. There was no set thing that I could say, okay, well, I'm going to invest all my energy in this and I'm going to duplicate my income. Or I was already receiving my income on the side, and so I just moved over into my side hustle and I made it a business. It wasn't like that for me. God called me out my job and I had no idea what I was going to be doing or how money was going to be coming and this, that, and other. It was confusing. And that is when my journey actually like really started. And so I would be reading the story of the Israelites and and all it would do, like I said, is just instill fear because I would see these people who were promised something. They were on the way to their promised land. They were literally going in the right direction. Moses is like, look guys, there is a place that is overflowing with milk and honey, and I'm telling you, you are going to live in abundance and it's going to be greater than you've ever had. And you know, these people are coming from being enslaved. So you would think that, okay, well, I'm coming from here and I'm going to buy into your vision and I am going to walk this road because I know that it's going to happen. And so I'm going to keep holding on to your belief. I got this person who's performing miracles and I'm seeing the miracles that God is opening up the door for. He's literally feeding me every single day, even though I don't have food. I don't have the food. And then all of a sudden, poof, it appears. Like I see that I'm being taken care of. So I'm going to believe that, guess what? My footsteps are leading directly into this promised land that you speak of. No, I haven't seen it. No, I didn't even know about it before you told me, but I buy in fully to what it is that you said because you've performed so many things, you've done so much that I believe. So that's what I would have thought. But no, that didn't happen. There was complaining, there was griping, there was like, okay, you know what? This is cool and all that you're talking about the promised land, and that's great, but I actually would rather it be where I go back. You know, yes, we were enslaved and yes, we were in bondage, but at least I knew, one, where my food was going to come from, and then two, that it was going to come on a daily basis. And I wasn't ever going to be hungry. I knew I was going to be taken care of over there. Here, it's kind of shaky. Yes, yesterday we were taken care of, but today, am I going to be taken care of? I'm not really sure because I don't know. It can be, I don't see this person that's providing, and it could be where he has and then he just stops. I don't really know this promised land that you speak of. I haven't seen it. I didn't get any notice of it before you told me. So all of this stuff is going through their minds, and I'm sitting there like, okay, I don't want to be like them, because if I know that God has taken me out of here, I've already seen the vision. I've seen the end goal. I've seen what it is that you've promised me. And so I know that I'm headed in the direction of my promised land, and I don't want to extend my journey. So I don't want to be like them. And so, like I said, that instilled fear in me. So instead of really leaning into what I said was the point that I just didn't pay attention to, I leaned into more of doing more, of becoming better, just like she said. And so I'm on my wilderness journey. I've got to work really hard. I've got to prove to God that I'm taking this serious. I've got to prove to him that I really believe that there is going to be a promised land at the end of this. So I'm going to work super, super hard. And I know that if I'm not there, then it's my fault. It's something that I did wrong. It's something that I'm not doing enough of. And I really have to focus in on that. And I've really got to make sure I do things perfectly. I really got to make sure I bust my butt. I really got to make sure I prove this. And first of all, you don't have to prove anything to God. Nothing. He knows your heart. He knows your mind. He knows what you're doing. And it's just, it's not there. We fall into that, and we're thinking that we have to prove that we believe. We've got to prove that we trust him. We've got to prove that. We don't have to prove that. We don't have to prove that. What we need to do is exactly what she said, and exactly what I didn't realize is that leaning into the fullness of you, that is where it is. If I'm leaning into the fullness of who I am and who you created me to be, and I'm focused on becoming the best me that I can, then in that I am serving you. In that I am honoring you. In that I am showing you that I appreciate this life that you've given me. I'm doing all these things without having to push and try to, hey, look at me, look at what I'm doing. The achievements aren't speaking for it. I'm leaning into who you created me to be, because I know the more I become myself, the more I really dig deep and I take off these layers that I've put on over the years, and the things that I believe that aren't true to me and that aren't serving me, the more I strip these layers off, the more me I become, the more of the person that you created I see. And the more it's like these layers have now put you into a dark state, okay? It's like darkness around you. And so as you're stripping off the layers, you got to think of yourself like a big ball of light, because that's what you are. We're a big ball of light. And so we've got all these clothes on top of us that are saying just the opposite. Like, no, you're not this, you're not enough of this, you're not good enough, whatever else that we tell ourselves and other people have told us. And as we're stripping these things off, as we're taking this stuff off of our head, I just want you to imagine like little beams of light just showing, just shining out. And the more that you strip off, the brighter you become. And you are becoming you. You are that big ball of light. You are that person that can attract the other people who are attached to you. You are that person that can lead other people out of darkness. You are that person who can make extreme changes in the world. You are that person that can cause people to transform. You are that light. My focus was definitely being distracted, and I fell into the trap of working more and doing more and trying to prove and trying to achieve, rather than really diving deep into being me, into achieving the fullness of me. And so what I realized when I'm going through this and I'm processing it, I'm seeing that when I was reading the story of the Israelites, and I've been reading that story for so long, since I was raised in the church, and you know how many times they talk about that. They talk about that story, and a lot of it is focused on what they did wrong. And so that was my focus. So when I came into this position, into this situation that we're in, that was the first thing that would come to my mind. It's like, oh my gosh, I did something wrong. Oh my goodness, I'm not doing enough. Oh my goodness, there must be something that I did that I shouldn't have done. So I'm living in the past, or I'm trying to calculate the future based on my past actions, and I'm blaming myself for where we are, when really the major part of the Israelite story that I just glazed over is the fact that no matter what they did, no matter them not being in alignment 24/7, right? They weren't always on the straight and narrow. They complained, like I said, they complained, they fed into negativity, they did this, they did that. It was a lot of stuff that we wouldn't want to do. But despite that, what happened? Did they go without food? Did their shoes, were they holes in it? Was it where they couldn't make it? They didn't have enough strength? They didn't have water? They didn't have the things that they needed along the journey? No, they were thoroughly taken care of, no matter what. As they stayed on this journey, even though their journey was only supposed to be 11 days, it turned into 40 years. But in those 40 years, in those 40 whole years, there was not one day, there was not one moment that they weren't taken care of. So if we can just take that and understand that, hey, wait a minute, hold up. I've been thinking about this wrong here. And that's what I had to do with me. I've been thinking about this wrong. I've been too focused on what they didn't do enough of, where they messed up. And I've been turning that on me, like it's all on me. I've got to make this thing work. I've got to do this. And I've left out the fact that I am divinely supported, divinely guided. And I am taken care of, and on every step of this journey, no matter how long it may take, I am always going to be taken care of. That is something that I can have in my back pocket. That is something that I can hang my hat on. That is something that I can always rely on. That is something that is near and dear to my heart that I can keep. And that is a promise. I will always be taken care of. So that is one thing that I know a lot of us hold on our shoulders. We take that on our shoulders. We're worrying about where things are going to come from, how things are going to work out, what this is going to do, how this is going to play out. We're worried about all the things that where we don't need to spend our energy there. We don't need to spend our energy in doing more and performing more and achieving more and gathering these things based out of fear. We need to focus on, hey, how can I be more of myself? How can I further evolve in what it is that I do, what it is that I bring to the table, how I serve people, the way that I speak, the way that whatever it is. How can you be more of you? How can you bring more of you to the table? And if you lift that thing off of your shoulders of, okay, I'm bogged down because I'm worried. I'm worried about how this is going to be taken care of. Look, God caught me on my job, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford this thing. Oh, okay, God led me to this job or to this person, but I don't know if I'm going to be good enough. Okay, God is leading me to speak, but I don't know. I stutter. Oh my goodness. God is leading me to teach, but I don't think I know enough. I don't know if I'm going to be effective in what it is that I'm trying to do. All these doubts that we hold, all these things that we're not sure of, these are the things that distract us from what we're actually supposed to be focused on. So what happens is, and what I've noticed in my own life, is that when you're distracted and you're thinking about these things that really you shouldn't be thinking about and spending your energy on, there is another side that's what I call the pusher side of me. She would come in and she would overcompensate for what it is that I felt that I lacked. So if I'm being called to teach and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like I can teach. I don't know if I know enough. I don't know if I'm effective enough. I don't know if they're going to listen to me. I don't know, all these things that I can't answer. Then she would come in just like, okay, all right. Look, you don't know if this is going to work, so I'm going to work extra hard. I'm going to read all the books. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make sure I show up. It's like she just took the wheel and just like, what you think you lack, I'm going to overcompensate for in the realm of work. So I am going to, yes, you may burn out, but I'm telling you, I'm going to compensate for what it is that you lack. That is what I don't want you to fall into. I don't want you to fall victim to, because you don't have to. You don't. So if we're not distracted and thinking about the things that we don't really, we don't even know. You don't know how things are going to actually play out. You don't know if this is going to work tomorrow. You don't know if you're even going to make it to tomorrow. So there's nothing that you can really do. Yes, by all means, plan as much as your heart desires, but also leave room for God to come in and change and modify those plans. So understanding that, yes, you play a role in this. You play a role in creating your reality. You play a role in what it is that what your current circumstance is and where you're at and all this stuff. You do play a role, but understand what that role is. You are co-creating with God. This is not all on you. This is not all on you. And what God is saying is like, okay, we're on this journey. I know that this is a process, and I know some things are going to be harder for you to understand and for you to grasp and learn than others. So trust me on this. When you're walking with me, I am telling you and I am guaranteeing you that every need will be met. I am going to take care of you thoroughly, completely. That is one thing that you can take off of your list. You don't even have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to dream about it. You don't have to lose sleep about it. I got you. Take that off. I want you to focus on being you, being more of you, doing what it is that I called you to do, and understanding that throughout this journey, I am always going to be taken care of. So that is the confidence. That is the thing that I wish, being taken out of my job in 2017, I would have focused more on, rather than what they did wrong. It's the fact that even though they strayed, they were still taken care of. So one thing that I can say in my journey is that, okay, even though I may not get it all, I may not get things right all the time. I may not be on a straight path, and it may not be that easy, but I can understand that in my down moments, in my moments that I feel like I got off the train track and I need to get back on, that He's always going to be there. The train will not keep moving just because I fell off. The train is there, and all I have to do is just pick myself back up. Hey, I want to get back on the train, and get back on the train. And knowing that even in those circumstances, I will still be taken care of. That is that confidence that I want us to live in. That's the confidence that I want us to take when we're being called to do something extraordinary, when we're being called to do something out of the norm. When we're being called to do something that's out of our comfort zone, I want you to take that confidence that, look, okay, I may not on the surface know what I'm doing. I may not understand why I'm being called here. I may not think that I have everything together, but you know who does? The other person on my team. The other person that I am co-creating with. I'm not in this alone. And I know that if I'm being called somewhere, if I know that I'm being called outside of my comfort zone, if I know that I'm being called to do something outside of my norm, outside of my wheelhouse, or what it feels like is outside of my wheelhouse, I know that I am divinely taken care of. I am divinely guided. Take that confidence and apply it to your lives wherever you think you're struggling, wherever you think that you lack, wherever you think that you need more of, wherever you doubt yourself, wherever those self-limiting beliefs are coming up, then I want you to dive into that. I want you to take that confidence and knowing that, look, I wasn't just taken here for no reason. I wasn't told to go right just to go right because he wants to make a fool out of me. It's because you see something that I don't see myself. It's something that I haven't yet unclothed, but you see up under those layers of clothing, you know who you created. You know me better than I know myself. And as I take this journey with you, as we walk hand in hand and side by side, guess what? I become more of who you created me to be. I see that. I feel that. I can live that. You show me that. That's how this works. We are co-creating, y'all. Don't take everything on your shoulders. Please don't make that mistake. That's how we burn out. That's how we get tired. That's how we feel like we can't do it. That's how we doubt ourselves. That's how we question. You're not in this alone. You are not in this alone. So I'm going to give y'all homework. We know for the past 2 or 3 weeks, we've been working on gratitude, right? Like I said, I hope that y'all really been digging deep in that. If y'all haven't, then you need to go ahead and do this in conjunction with what I'm going to tell you today. Today, your homework is to have fun. To have fun, to enjoy. I want you to pick out joy. I want you to pick out fun. Where can you have more fun? Because the more that we dive into enjoyment, the more that we dive into like having fun and just being us, there goes the fullness of you. That's where it is. And before, I was so confused last year when God would always tell me that. Like, look, I need you to enjoy more. I want you to focus on enjoyment. I want you to prioritize fun. And I'm like, how am I supposed to prioritize enjoyment and fun when we don't even know where our bills are going to come from? We don't even know, like, I'm not getting any money, so how can I have fun? Well, I'm not feeling like I'm doing anything. I don't feel like I'm producing anything. I don't feel like I'm achieving anything. So how can I have fun? Well, I'm here to tell you, you can have fun even with you not doing that. Because that is in knowing that I'm going to be taken care of. I am going to be taken care of. And as I dive deeper, and as I dove deeper into enjoyment and prioritizing fun and prioritizing myself, I realized that I became more productive. I became more focused. But it wasn't from the pusher side of me. It wasn't because, it wasn't fear-based. It was me-based. It was because this is me. As I'm uncovering me, oh, these aren't things that I actually have to work towards. These aren't things that I actually have to push for. These are things that come innate to me. Because I am who you created me to be. So if you're putting me in this situation, you're putting me in this job, you're putting me with this person, I know that as I dive deeper in the fullness of me and I really see who is the person that you created and I discover her, or I discover him, then that is leading me right into where I'm supposed to be. There is no worry there. Like the things that you push, the things that you strive for, the things that you're really, really focused on, and the things that are draining you, I'm telling you, if you just start letting go and you start enjoying more and loosening up and having more fun, you will find that those things actually come to you. It's not where you have to go chase them. And that's where I want us all to be. So I want us to focus really heavily today on prioritizing enjoyment, prioritizing ourselves and us having fun. That's what I want us to do. I thank you for being here today. Despite what has gone on, I tell you, really tried to mess things up. But it's all right. It's all good. No matter what happens. And as you can see, this is just an example of what it is that happens in our day-to-day life. This is distraction. What are you going to do? Are you going to give up just because something, the way that you thought things were supposed to work out, it didn't work out? Just because the plan that you did have, it didn't happen? Are you going to give up on your dream? Are you going to give up on your goals? Are you going to give up on what was promised to you just because this one thing didn't work out? Just because it seems like it's a struggle in trying to have it or make it come to fruition. Just because it's not seeming like it's coming soon enough. Are you going to give up? Or are you going to keep pressing, trying to figure out, okay, well, look, this way didn't work. So God, help me out. I need some more ideas. I need some more ideas. What can we do together to make this happen? How can we still be effective in what it is that you called me to do, even though this plan that I made and that I spent time on didn't work? How can we do this? This is what we've got to do. We got to roll with the punches, honey. Everything ain't going to work out all the time, and that's okay. It is what it is. But when things aren't, understand that in those moments, strength, you are being strengthened. You are being developed. And you are being prepared for where it is that God is leading you. You are on the right path. You are on your journey. Yes, you may feel like you're in the wilderness, but honey, I'm telling you, you have a promised land. Everybody does. And we're all walking to it. We just have to make sure that we are in alignment, okay? And we talked about that last week. I just want to make sure that I'm in alignment, walking in the path and in the direction that I'm supposed to be. That's something that we can do. We can do those daily check-ins. We can do those weekly check-ins and just making sure that, okay, how are we feeling? What are we doing? What are our goals? You know, as you do with anything, you do that with business, do that with yourself. Check in. Figure out if where you are headed, is that headed in the direction that you actually want to go? If not, then just make a change. But if you realize that you have to make a change, or you have to take a detour, or you did take a detour and you need to get back on the main road, then understand that that's okay. That is a part of your process. And that does not mean that now you won't be taken care of. That does not mean that, oh my gosh, now all this bad stuff is going to happen. Oh, now I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pay this. Now I'm not sure. And if that doesn't happen, then it was all my fault. Why did I do this? Don't get lost in that. That's a distractor. That's a distractor. We get back. Okay, we took a detour. All right, now we figured out that we need to get back on the main road. Get back on the main road. It's okay. We can take another route. Just like this. My computer died. I don't even know what my computer did. Now it's back on. But it's not connected. So it's back on, but instead of sulking in this and trying to figure out and being anxious and trying to understand why this is happening, and I'm trying to do your will, and I'm no. What do? Okay, well, I got my phone running for a reason. I have it recording me. So now it's going to pick up where this left off, and I'm still going to post it. I don't care what it looks like. It may not look as professional as my camera. It may, I don't even like the angle. And I just realized that I've been talking to the camera that isn't even recording, instead of looking over here to my phone that is recording. So it's totally not what I would want, but I don't care, because I want you to be focused on the message. You ain't supposed to be focused on me anyway. So if things don't work the way that we think that they should, take that as just a, hey, I need you to change direction. I need you to do something different. I need you to spice it up a bit. And how do you do that? You don't have to worry about how you're going to do that. You don't have to get anxious, and you don't have to fall into that trap of trying to figure out how it's going to work and what you're going to do. And oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. All you got to do, just ask. You're co-creating. You are not by yourself. The ideas will come. The ideas will flow. But all you need to do, what you need to focus on today, is enjoying. Is having fun. I want you to have fun. And if you can, and if you do this, then let me know. I want you to either, find me on Instagram, find me on LinkedIn, whatever it is, and you can DM me and let me know what you did for fun, how you enjoyed, how that's playing out for you. Or you can write it in the comments and just let me know. So then other people can see it too, right? That's the better option. But whatever works for you is cool. So I want you to focus on that. And again, I thank you guys for being here. I thank you guys for taking the time to be with me. I know there was a few of you guys on there, and then this just happened, so now I don't have anybody. But for you guys who are watching the replay, I thank you. I thank you for showing up. I thank you for taking the time. And I thank you for being tuned in. I thank you for being plugged in. And I thank you for taking this journey, because I am telling you, and I will not stop telling you, that we need you. We need what it is that you provide. We need what it is that you give. We need what it is that's inside of you. In taking this journey, you will become, and you are becoming, deeper embedded into the person that you were created to be. You are living and breathing the fullness of who you were created to be, who you truly are. So taking this, you're doing it. But I just want you to speed it up a little bit by just enjoying and having fun. So that's what we're going to do.